Hey guys, welcome to our live watch along for Arsenal versus Inter, or Inter versus Arsenal. Make sure you guys are liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Are you guys watching this Man City game? I think they just scored their first goal, and I think it's 3-1. Wild, wild, wild. But happy to be chilling with you guys. I'm sure we have a lot to catch up on. I'm sure you guys are going to want to kind of talk about Ethan and him going to Marseille on loan. We also have some information on Zinchenko. He's not at Nottingham Forest anymore. He's potentially kind of going to Ajax. So we can touch on that as well. And anything else that you guys want to talk about. I know it's been a minute. And so these watch alongs are more of just us getting together and hanging out and watching the game together. So yeah, super excited to restart these. The watch along schedule for the next couple of days is down at the bottom. We have the watch along scheduled for Arsenal women versus Manchester United, as well as Manchester City women versus Chelsea in the FA Cups, or no, sorry, the League Cup semifinals. So we'll do that. And then we'll do Arsenal versus Man United, as well as Napoli and Juventus at the weekend on Sunday. So make sure you guys set notifications, subscribe to the channel if you're new. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into some team news as well. Let me just put up the link here. Let's see if people can. Yep. Hey guys, my live. Okay, cool. All right, let's do it. Let's see. Lots of you guys in the comment section already. Let's see what you guys are saying. Burmy says, yeah, Jess is back. Shamara says, City are getting smoked. What the fuck? Good evening, Jess Black. How are you? I'm doing really good. I have a little snack. I got my coffee. And this game is pretty inconsequential, I would say. I mean, obviously, you still want to win and have momentum. And so, you know, you want all those things. But I kind of think that this is one of those games where you can rotate. We'll talk about, oh, Man City got a red card? Oh my gosh. You can kind of afford to rotate and maybe not have the best of result and it doesn't hurt you. So I'm feeling good. It's nice to not have a game that feels so highly pressurized, because it feels like every single game that we've kind of had in the last couple of weeks has felt like it meant so much. So yeah, I'm doing good, and I hope you guys are doing well too. Gunnar 3066 says, do you have a timer set up? I do. It's not like the best in the world situation, but I have a little something. So yeah, I tried for you guys because I never have like an actual like anything. So yeah, hopefully it works. Let's see. That's it at the corner. Obviously we haven't started yet, but I tried it a little bit earlier. And let's see. Yeah, it works. So there you go. There's a little timer. Not sure about this Nwaneri loan. I feel like he'll be needed in the run-in. We'll talk about that in just a second. Insomniac says, gonna watch the match and observe in silence if we can attack. All I've been watching on YouTube is political content and slowly going crazy. So happy you're back. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that you guys are saying such like nice things, and I'm happy to be back as well. Political content is a choice. Yeah, it's a choice. I try to avoid as much of it as possible. Nico says, big up, Jess, been a minute. Nuance says, hey, Jess. And yeah, so listen. They scored again. Oh, it was offside. Bodo Glimt almost scored again, and it was just flagged offside. Like, they're getting torched. So yeah, let's actually talk about, before we get into Ethan, let's just talk about the lineup really quick for the game. Get that out of the way, and then we'll talk about Ethan and all of that. So let me just pull up I'm not that surprised that we went with something a little bit more rotated, because this was the least important game, I feel like, in these three that we have, this Nottingham Forest, Inter, Man United. Now, do I think that we should have went stronger or with our best 11 against Nottingham Forest? Yes, I do. I think that wing pairing is a hot potato wing pairing. Nothing sticks. It's just they're just they can't hold on to the ball. They're quite, you know, inconsistent in front of goal, which we saw, and they make weird decisions. So I do think that we could have went with our start, like our better group, or Trossard and Saka, basically. That being said, we should have been able to score a goal against Nottingham Forest, even with Nani Madueke and Martinelli. So today's lineup is Raya, Timber, Saliba, Mascara, Lewis Skelly, Zubi, Marino, Eze, Saka, Trossard, and Jesus. So that's a mix. It's a good mix. It's still like a really strong 11, in my opinion, but it is lightly rotated. And to be honest, like I would like to see more of I know we can't really do it now, but I wouldn't be opposed to lineups like this in games that are like, are you guys saying I'm lagging? Am I okay? Am I okay? I think I'm okay. But yeah, I would like to see this type of rotation every once in a while in the Premier League, just to give people a chance, you know, to run around and stretch their legs out and get people to relax a little bit. But, you know, Timber, I don't know. White probably, maybe he can't play so many minutes, but I think that White probably should have started today. And the reason why I say that is because I just think Timber's playing too many minutes. I don't necessarily feel like he's in his best form. This is probably the first time that since he's been at Arsenal where I felt like his form was not good. Usually he's good for a 7 out of 10 every single game. But I do feel like the last couple games, especially with him playing on the left against Nottingham Forest, that he wasn't great, like at all. So I White should have started today. Um, so yeah, but glad they're back. I think we missed him dearly. We just need more defensive option. When you get down to Norgard playing, you know you're in trouble back there. So not like he did a bad job, but as many defenders as we have, it was just like, damn, we don't got nobody else. So Mascara being back is great. I think giving Gabby a little bit of a rest is nice as well. Lewis Skelly, I don't know. I think it's good that he's going to play today. I don't think there was any other option but for him to really play today, unless he played Timber over there. But I think he needs to have a good game today. I think his form needs to start turning around. I don't know. Zubi, Marino, Eze, that's fine. I think with all the conversations around Eze and him needing minutes, I think there's probably the most pressure on him to play well today, because there can't be all this advocating for a player to play, and then when he gets his opportunities, he's not necessarily taking them, which I actually think is kind of what's been happening. Although Eze's minutes in the Premier League have dried up, he has played in most of the cup competitions. I think even playing against like kind of poor opposition or lower level opposition like Portsmouth, he had a very anonymous game. So if anybody needs to have a good game, it's him. There's been a lot of chat, a lot of talk about, Ethan and, Eze should be getting minutes and Miles Lewis Skelly should be playing and all this kind of stuff. He kind of needs to play well. I don't think he can have a ghost game after all the chat. This isn't, and you're not playing with bums or like a super rotated lineup where structure is totally broken because you're playing with the players that never play. You literally have Zubi and Marino with you. They're going to do all the other work. They're going to allow you to just kind of do your thing. So you need to do it. Saka in there, obviously, for stability. That's fine. And Madueke played quite a bit against Nottingham Forest. Trossard and Jesus, and a strong bench. Kepa, Seppard, White, Gabriel, Odegaard, Martinelli, Gyökeres, Norgard, Madueke, Nwaneri, Havertz, and Rice. So we're resting players. We're getting players minutes that have come back off of injury, like Mascara. And it's just strong enough where it doesn't feel like we're throwing the game or being totally disrespectful towards Inter, and giving ourselves a good opportunity to rest key players ahead of a big game against Manchester United. So yeah, I personally, I think this is a good lineup. Now, usually when we like the lineup, does it really go the way that we think? So yeah, but I think they need to maybe at least like have the type of game that it's weird because I want to say that they need a game to like, kind of get the juices flowing a little bit and like so that they can feel up for the Man United game or feel confident going to the Man United game. Cause I don't know why I'm feeling like they don't have confidence. But we played really good against Bayern and then tore our draws against Chelsea. So I don't know if momentum is going to mean much. But, again, it's pretty much an inconsequential game. A draw will pretty much solidify top 2 finish, if not top 1. Just play well and entertain, have a little bit of fun, stretch your legs. I don't know. It's very much so like what shall be shall be. At least there's not a lot of pressure in terms of result. I'm looking for a good attacking performance. I think this is really interesting that we're still looking for good attacking performances. This has been kind of a theme for a couple seasons now where we want to see changes because we want to see things change in the attack. And I just wonder if we're looking for something that we may not necessarily see. I personally think that no matter who plays, we kind of play a similar style. And as long as people sit back against us, we usually get a similar result, going down the wings, crossing it in. It's just a matter of if we're clinical or not. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm thinking that bringing in different players is going to bring in a better attacking performance, because it's not even like I think that we're not creating any chances. I just think our players are not clinical. I don't know, but we shall see. We shall see. Let's see. I don't know if how many times I think we've at least seen Eze and Jesus play together one time against Portsmouth, right? And we didn't get much out of that. Maybe they can build up some, you know, something, no Gyökeres out there, so there won't be the guy out there that's holding us back, no Odegaard out there, so there won't be somebody that's passing us sideways and backwards. Maybe the ballers per se can, I think they have to. I think there's been a lot of chat online about certain players holding us back in attack and all this kind of stuff. I think they have to have a better game, because there's just been a lot of chat that I personally don't know if I feel like is warranted, but that's just me. I'm looking forward to another frustrating attacking performance. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we had a kind of like a same thing that we always have, but we'll see. I think the difference in our attacking performances usually lie within if the team plays a deep block and if we're clinical. If they play a deep block, we need a set piece to open it up. We usually cross the ball a lot. We use the wings. We don't access central spaces no matter who's there. And then, whether or not they put the ball in the back of the net, I think it's more that than anything else. But yeah, and it's refreshing to see no Gyökeres, and Gyökeres has been getting that work. And it doesn't help when Thierry Henry sits up on CBS and shows like little clips and says like, look at your decision making, like he's not doing this, he's not doing that, and then sits up there and talks about how great Brian Bobbery is, right? It's not looking good for Gyökeres. I still kind of feel like people went a little bit too far blaming everyone else for Gyökeres, and it's falling on deaf ears now because how much longer are we going to blame everybody else around him? When I see people blaming Saka and saying that Saka's trying to, stop Gyökeres from becoming the man and he's so selfish, I'm like, we've totally lost the plot. Like, we've totally lost the plot. Watch with your eyes. Do you see a good player? You see somebody who's at our level. And this is coming from somebody that really wanted Gyökeres. Like, I wanted Gyökeres at the club. But it was kind of like, well, I don't think I'm watching somebody that's just going to miraculously be completely different. Maybe he can get into better positions and lift his levels ever so slightly. But if it was me, I'd be looking for a striker in the summer. That's all I'm saying. So yeah. Jokeris to me has spawned some of the most shameless fans in our fan base. They had no time for Kai, but they have all the time in the world for Jokeris. It's everyone else's fault. It's Odegaard's fault. It's Saka's fault. It's Arteta's fault. It's everyone's fault that this guy cannot trap a fucking ball and put the ball in the back of the net. It's just wild to me. So yeah, of course there's always two sides to the story and it's not always black and white. And could we find him more? Yes. But ultimately I'm looking at a player and I'm thinking, yeah, no. Yeah. No, probably not, but it is what it is. Let's talk about Ethan. Ethan's been the subject of a lot of conversation this morning, or this afternoon for some of you guys. He is on his way to Marseille on loan. And I think that, for me, I wanted him to stay just selfishly. It was more from a selfish, hold on. Yeah, a selfish point of view because I felt like just in case we get injuries. But if I'm not being selfish and I'm thinking about what's best for Ethan, I think this is an interesting loan. I think that, in the past we've sent them to strange teams that weren't, just weird teams, that I didn't really, it's like, can we do better than this or what? And he's going to a Champions League team playing under a manager that knows the Premier League. He's Marseille are a good team, and he's going to play with some talented players. When we've sent our players to Marseille before, and they've done well. So I don't really see the problem with the loan, but I've seen a lot of conversations around Ethan being exiled, and then like shipped off to France in a box, never to be seen again. And where I do kind of understand the anxiety around a young player leaving us and going on loan and you loving them and you wanting to see them play for us, I do think it's been taken a little bit too far. I don't think Aubameyang's going to be in his ear trying to talk him out of being at Arsenal and I think Aubameyang's over that shit now. Like that was like 5 years ago. You know, I don't think he's going to be chit-chatting with him and, "Oh, look at these guys diving in the box." Shameless. Yeah, but I don't think he's going to be doing up all that stuff and like what is he going to tell him? What is he going to tell him? "Oh, Arteta, we're top of the league right now and we're playing well. We may not be playing the way that we want to, but we're winning games." So what's he going to tell him? So I don't know. I don't know if the Aubameyang thing is really like real. Like I don't really see that. And if he does well, but we win the league, who cares? I can understand more if we don't end up winning the league, then there'll be conversations if Ethan does really well and our attacking performances are what keep us from winning the league. But right now, I don't know, y'all. I really don't see the problem. I really am I think people are taking it too far. I think, people want another Saliba, situation where everybody who's not playing is always the answer. And I feel like they want another Saliba situation so they have a reason to hate Mikel because it's hard to hate Mikel right now in the situation that we're in. This is coming from somebody, right, that's really critical of Mikel Arteta. But sometimes I just feel like people are looking for a reason to be mad about shit. And he's going on a loan and he's going to a good team. And hopefully he does well, but he wasn't getting any minutes. And it wasn't really because of Madueke. Arteta and Arsenal had already moved away from Ethan playing at right wing. And if we're honest, he wasn't that great at right wing towards the back end of the season. I don't know if that was because they clocked him or because he was tired because he hadn't played that many minutes, but it was very clear coming into this season that he was going to be playing in the midfield. And so actually the people that are in his way are your 68 million pound signing Eze, your captain, and an international Spanish player named Mikel Merino. On paper, Ethan's not getting in that team. When those players aren't playing well, maybe you can make an argument that he should be playing, but in reality, let's be real. Ethan is not better than any of those 3 players. He's a talented young player. It's not like he's in the England team or, it's not like he's Lamine Yamal. He's not. He needs minutes, but he wasn't going to get it with us. Get the frustration, think it's a good loan, think it's an interesting situation. And if he can get into that team and do well, then let's see, where we go from here. But I think there was just a lot of projection based on him playing so much last season and doing so well, him and Miles Lewis Skelly, that was going to change the plan. But we're not in a situation where we were a couple seasons ago where, we're talking about Saliba not playing, but there's Rob Holding in the team or, Socrates or whoever. They're being blocked out of the team by good fucking players. And we're not playing horrendously enough where you feel like you need to make wholesale changes and play the kids. We were in a situation playing the kids because we were shit. We were so bad that we needed to result to playing children because the grown-ups were so bad. But we're sitting 7 points top of the league. We're about to play against Inter, and it doesn't really fucking matter either. We're in the semifinals and 1 foot into the final of the Carabao Cup, and people are acting like it's nuts, that we're sending Ethan on this loan. And I really think it's we have bigger problems, or bigger things to think about than Ethan needing to be into this team, right now. So as much as we're frustrated by the way that we're playing and the fact that the last 2 Premier League games, we didn't score any goals and we dropped points, totally understand that. But I don't really think that Ethan necessarily is changing those results. I don't know if he's changing those results. I don't know if we're not benching Lamine Yamal. That's all I'm saying. So I love Ethan, right? And I think he did really well last season. And there were times where I probably would have played him over other players because I just feel like he's that talented. But I don't think it's that deep. I don't think it's that deep. And to be honest, Ethan, even if he did play well last season, which he did, we drew and lost a lot of fucking games while we were playing him in Marino and shit like that. So it's not like, the players that are playing over him don't have any receipts of us playing well with them in the team. I think there's less receipts of Ethan lifting us to some sort of level where he could never not play, if that makes sense. So yeah, I love Ethan. I'm excited to see what the loan is giving. I hope that he gets playing time. And I don't think this is Ethan is going to Marseille because he hates Mikel Arteta, and Mikel Arteta, slapped him across the face and said, "Fuck you, you're going to Marseille," and, told him that I'm going to just ship you off and I'm never going to see you again. Genuinely, I feel like people make up fan fiction when they think of the relationships that these players have with Mikel Arteta. But yeah, we'll see how it pans out. I would not sanction this until January 31st, to be honest, because just in case something, happens, then we won't, maybe some players get injured, whatever. But Ethan, I wish him all the luck at Marseille, and I hope he does well. It's funny because the same rivals who were cooking Ethan for that performance against United last season are saying that he's better than players in his position. I don't know. I just feel like it's all about narratives. People use certain players to spin narratives about others. And it just is what it is. Every time that they even think that Ethan could potentially be out on the market, they're twerking for Ethan and saying they should leave Arsenal to go to them. If he's, not playing, if he plays against them, then they're saying that he played like shit. And then if he's on the bench, he should be playing over other people. I think people should just mind their own business. Genuinely, I don't want to hear any rivals' real opinions on the Ethan thing. Give me a break. Marseille are a good team and in the Champions League. Exactly. I think it's better than him going to some random championship team. That's just me though, especially because the French league is actually competitive in a physical way. And I think that's something that he needs to work on a little bit, is just maybe a little bit of the physicality part. Not like he's weak or anything, but it's going to be a good league for him French players, midfielders, defenders, stuff like that usually do well in the Premier League. So I think it's a good place for him to land. I really don't think, I don't think it's a big deal, but I'm also like, we're 7 points clear in the league and I need to be focused on that. Like, I'm really not trying to, an 18-year-old going out on loan that's not named Lamine Yamal, it's probably going to be okay. Um, I have no issue with Nwaneri going alone. Let's see. I have no issue with Nwaneri going on loan. Do you think we're going to get any substantial signings done before the window ends? I don't think so. Motherfuckers can't make the bench right now, so I think no, but you never know, so until the last moment, you never know. But I don't think so. I think we spent a lot in the summer window and we're kind of like just waiting on players to get back and get fit. How many points clear do you think we need to be when we go to the Etihad? 9 or more. I think that because by the time we go to the Etihad, it's late in the league. I don't know if it's in April, but it's later. So I think that that game needs to, it can't be where they're saying, well, you still have to come to the Etihad, which I think when you're like 6 points ahead of them, they feel like if they beat you there, then all you have to do is lose one more game, essentially. And then we'll get nervous. Yeah, it's April 18th. Thank you, T. So essentially, we would need to be, in my opinion, 9 points ahead of them. So there's only a couple games left, and their fixtures, I think, going into those final games are a little bit more difficult than ours are. Because you guys will let me know, but would we be past the Chelsea game at home and the Spurs game away by then? So I think 9 points. I think that's what the frustration was with the Nottingham Forest and Liverpool games for me, is because I'm looking at that 9 points and like, I really want that 9. I think 9 is a really good total because it's, to me, it's unlikely that if we lost at the Etihad, we're going to lose 2 more games. I think max we'd lose 1, being who we are, So yeah, I think 9 would, I wouldn't feel comfortable because I'll never feel comfortable because I'm traumatized, but I would feel like that's healthy going to the Etihad, knowing that they know that even if they beat us, we would still have to lose 2 more games, So it's still a 2-game swing. Um, let's see. Even with City being subpar, I get it. We'll be honest to keep our nerves. Yeah, yeah. Like I am looking at City and seeing that they're not the team that I thought that they were a couple of months ago. That being said, our biggest our biggest problem is ourselves. So I'm not nervous, about if it does get closer towards the end, will we have the metal to do it? And to be honest, until we win it and we get it over the line, I'm going to have those concerns. So I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. But at the same time, I would like those 9 points. I would like those 9 points. Yes. I would like it to be pretty much like we're running away with it. I think most of us would like, I'm not trying to do the increase my rent, tell my landlord I will increase my rent so that I can go harder. No, like give me a discount. Like the fuck, what do I look like? I don't think City will win away at Anfield. Jess, you're living in the KDB PTSD. They are not at it. I definitely am. Like I am 100% living in PTSD. I admit my faults. I am living in PTSD. So I am nervous. I am scared. Do I think that we're in the best position that we've been in? Yeah, I do. And we should be winning it. But am I nervous? Hell yeah. Who's this? A Black American Gunner fan. My name is Jessica Black. I run this channel. Sure, I take 12, 15 points ahead. It's high time we ran away with it. We tripped up in the last 2 times. Big up, Jess. Good. Hope you're good. Smash the likes up, people. I genuinely quit the sport if we don't win the league. winning the Carabao Cup would do wonders for this team mentally, which is another reason why I was so frustrated at the Chelsea game. Like after that game, I did this show with Deluded, and he was like, "Oh, why aren't you as excited as I am?" And I'm like, because I felt like we still left crumbs on the table. I feel like we should have completely pulled the rug out from underneath them and made it so difficult for them to come back that they come to the Emirates just trying to manage that game so that they could play harder in the Premier League. And I think we gave them just enough for them to still come to the Emirates and think that they can do something. And it's very rare that you get to play teams with all their best players out. You know, if you could pick 3 players from Chelsea not to be playing in a game so that you could beat them comfortably, you choose the 3 players that were not there the game that we played them. You choose Cole Palmer, you choose Caicedo, and who was the other one? It was and Reece James. And we somehow figured out a way to give that only win by 1 goal when we should have smashed them. And one of the things with Arsenal that concerns me this season is the reappearance of these late goals and also the inability to stamp our authority on a game after we score. After we score, there's usually like a 10-minute period where, you know, a team is rocking, or, you know, we have a little bit of momentum and we just don't get the second goal to just fully put it out of their reach at times, you know. So I think Chelsea could have been dead and buried. They should have lost that game 5-1 or 5, you know, they really should have got blamed. And it was 3-2, and they will be saying that they can come to the Emirates and get something. Now, they don't really ever really come to us and get anything, but we rarely beat them at Stamford Bridge, and we did this time. So crazier things have happened. I just want sometimes for games to feel like they're done, you know, and or you know, feel like situations are done, and we can't quite get there with the Premier League. We can't quite get there with the Carabao Cup. The only, you know, thing that we've done that with is the Champions League, which doesn't it feel good to sit here on the day that we're gonna play fucking Inter and be like, I mean, like, you know, it'd be great to win, but you know, that feels good. I want more situations like that for us. And like John Donuts is saying, letting Garnacho score twice was nasty work. And I like literally was screaming, crying, throwing up. I could not believe it. If she's a gooner, I'll smash the like and subscribe. I am an Arsenal fan, that's for sure. We can't start Kepa in the home tie. Did anybody else think it was weird that we started Kepa instead of Raya in that game? Because it wasn't like everybody that had played up until that point was still playing in these games. Because if that was the case, then Miles Lewis Skelly, well, not Miles Lewis Skelly, Ethan would have still been playing, because Ethan had played like all those games pretty much leading up. So I was like, why is Kepa in there? And if I want to nitpick, I do think that if Raya's in the goal, we don't concede that second goal for sure, because I think he punches it out further than Garnacho, like standing right there, you know. So if I'm nitpicking, you know, so, but he can't play the second leg. We don't need sympathy. We need to fucking win, you know. So play your real team and play Raya. Play Raya, you know, play our real goalkeeper this time. And Kepa played like a backup. You know, it wasn't like he was ass. He was just, he's a backup and he played like one, you know. So it's not that I think that Kepa is like the worst thing I've ever seen either, you know. No, it's always been Mikel's policy. Backup keepers play the domestic cup games, and I'd still play Kepa. I would not. I would not. But hey, you know, it is what it is. A game for another day. Let's concentrate on Inter. What do we really want to concentrate on? Like, here, I'm like, I'm feeling so nothingness right now. Like, y'all get me up for this game. You know, what am I up like? What am I excited about for today's game? Surely, you know, it's not even like I get to see Ethan one last time, you know, before he goes, because he's not even starting this game. So like, what, like, you know, because I just came to hang, you know, because I'm telling you guys right now, when we play Man United, I will not be smiling. I'm gonna keep it really real with you guys right now. If you guys have been here long enough to know, there's only one fixture that will send me into absolute, like, I will lose my if we do anything but beat Man United on Sunday. So let me have this. Let me have one game where I'm not really caring that much, where I'm not sitting there doubled over with, like, my stomach in knots. Because one thing I cannot do is a Man United. I can't do it. I can't. I can't. I was happy that they took those points off of City, but I knew it was gonna lead into the bullshit that we know is them. They don't have to be good. As long as they think they're good, they will come and try to play hard and do their, like, little Man United bullshit. So them beating City has got their fans talking smoky. And they don't have to play midweek because they're not in any other competition. They're not in any other competition but the Premier League, so this is their cup final. And I just hate it. I hate it with everything in my being. Everything. It is the worst fixture on the calendar for me personally. So yeah, we must. So yeah, today, let me chill. Let me chill. Let me have my Inter. Fuck it. If we win, I'll text Judge Mo and tell him his team is shit. So yeah. But yeah, City just lost to Bodo Glimt, but it's like, you know, they're so rickety. What's going on with them? I don't know. It's odd. But keep staying shit because I need that. Would love it if we can bring them right back to earth. That's what we need to do, Josh. Period. We must. Like, I would love for them to get their little derby win and to only have helped us get further along in our title hopes and then come to the Emirates and get humbled. That's the best case scenario. That is the scenario. That is my script. That's it, so nothing else. I mean, they are talking smoky. We need to wear our black kits. I know you guys need to know we're gonna come up there with our black kits. We're gonna come up there counterattacking football. You ain't seen nothing like this. I'm like, okay. Only good thing is that they won't sit back, but still we've been stinky against big teams this season for sure. And I do think that they will sit back. I do think they'll sit in and try to counterattack. I think the script is very much so we don't have to think about anything that they're going to do that's going to be spectacular. They're going to basically try to replicate exactly what they did against City, and they're going to do a 4-2-3-1. They'll probably play damn near the same team, and we'll be fighting the counterattack. And the problem that we have with fighting the counterattack is when we play up against teams that come to our place and sit back, especially better teams, we're so afraid that they're going to hit us on the counter that we start, white knuckling the ball because we're so afraid to let it, like, to get scored against, right? What you doing? His dog is back here doing nonsense. But yeah, we're so afraid to let go of the ball that we start passing sideways and backwards, sideways and backwards, sideways and backwards, So yeah. For those of you guys who are saying audio and video are not in sync, we're just going to have to go with it. I'm not going to lie that we have had problems with the internet and getting things synced up and nice and pretty for you guys. I'm here and I'm trying. So hopefully you guys can just work with me. I don't know what to tell you guys, but I don't want to panic about it because I know there's really nothing I can do about it. I'm literally plugged into the modem. I have the most expensive Wi-Fi package you could possibly have. It's above me. So, hey, like, I don't know what to tell you guys. Anyways, I know Declan Rice got me. I mean, I don't think he's had a poor performance against Man United. Has he? Because he saved the draw last season away from home, did he not? Because he scored. So I think he's good for a game against United. So yeah. Now for the rest of y'all, especially y'all that are getting rested today, rise it. Rise it. Would you guys play Jokeris against Man United? Because I'm thinking that we need a little change of but that's just me. I think he needs to sit for a little bit. I don't know. Um, I wanted Arteta to start Martinelli and rest Trossard for Man United, though it makes as we're gonna have a lot of the ball and hope for an early sub. Yeah. It's weird. It's a weird one because I still think our left wing is very much so like just a roulette of who's doing all right now. And right now that's Trossard. But at any moment we could be back in a situation where left wing is just so suspect. So I'm not gonna lie, like there's still a part of me that feels like we need to run Eze at left wing again. Because listen, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. He's not gonna drop Odegaard for any significant amount of time. So if you want to get both Odegaard and Eze, or at least get Eze on the pitch, left wing would be a good opportunity to do it. And we just didn't see it enough. We should have seen it more, by now. And it's not that I want Trossard dropped. It's just, you know, if you want to get something a little bit different, then do that. But I think what Arteta looks for in his wingers, especially the starting ones, are ball retention. He looks for players that can ride challenges, come inside, and keep the ball. And Trossard and Saka do that a lot. So the players that are more like the take-on merchants aren't playing as much, and so yeah, I don't know, but I want to see more of Eze. But I feel like the safe way to play him would be on the wing. And I know people are like, but he's not a winger, and I'm like, that don't stop anybody else from playing on the wing. Morgan Rogers ain't no winger. Cole Palmer ain't no winger. They're not wingers, but they play there all the time. Foden ain't no winger. Turkey is not a winger. A lot of those players play out wide, but they just play more midfieldy. And the benefit to having Eze is he can also delete people, so it's a tough one, but I'd be tempted to get Eze out there on the pitch against United. And have him delete Dallo. Delete, 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 delete. That's what I want. Playing wing at Arsenal is super difficult. Yeah, it is, and I think it requires really good footballing IQ, because you have to problem solve because there's not always a lot of space to run into. If there's just constant space, you can just run like a chicken with your head cut off and just run into that space. But once that space is condensed, then all of a sudden, I think your options are so much more limited. So I think that's the problem that we have with, and this is no offense to these players. I'm not saying that they have zero footballing IQ. I just say their footballing IQ maybe isn't as advanced as Saka and Trossard, but Madueke and Martinelli, their decision making is very up and down and uneven, so yeah. But I just feel like, I don't know. Once Arteta moves you out of a position, he can be kind of hard-headed about it. So I hope he hasn't become staunch in his Eze will never play on the wing again, because we didn't even really get to see it. Okay. We need Calafiori back. Speak on it. Listen, early on in the season, there were actually people, I feel like, going at Calafiori because he was the starter, and now they clearly see why he's the starter. Again, like, also with Calafiori, what's weird to me is that there's like this it's always conflated. His ability and his injuries are conflated. So because he's out all the time, they don't separate the fact that this is like a supremely talented player. If he didn't come to Arsenal, he would have ended up at Real Madrid. That's how good he is. and he's injury prone, but those things are completely separate. So this idea that if he's fit, he should not be starting never made sense to me because I was like, but he was always going to be the starter. We literally did not buy up forward, but went like we did everything in our power to get Calafiori in that summer. Arteta clearly felt like he was a special player, and we saw it in the Euros. But people were like shocked that he wasn't straight back like starting. And I get that Miles played so well, but we're even seeing like, and it was apparent in preseason too that something wasn't right with Miles, at the beginning, So Calafiori is one of those players where I see like an instant difference in the way that we play and how good we are when he's out there. It's like it's night and day. It's just like to me, like when we play with Saliba and Gabriel. Like you can see the difference. Like sometimes when we switch our wingers out, I don't see that much of a difference, or we switch our striker out. I'm like, okay, it's a little bit different, but it's like not that different. You see it with Calafiori. He's just the perfect player to play there. So yeah, we need him to get fit, but it's kind of like, you can't count on him. What you can count on is he's going to get injured again, and I'm surprised he lasted as long as he did. And then on top of that, we do this always the same. One person gets injured and the person that's meant to come in always gets injured immediately after Hincapié. Like, are you serious? You never had an injury problem at Leverkusen, but here you are, injured twice, right? He got injured as soon as he got here and then turned around and got injured again. And I'm not saying that like he's doing it on purpose, but it's just so unfortunate. And then Miles, I think his form was so bad that Arteta did not feel confident playing him against Nottingham Forest. So he played Timber. And now there's the ripple effect of like Timber never being able to sit his ass down, So I'm hoping that this is the start of Miles getting some form back. Because if we can get last year's Miles Lewis Skelly, we could do without Cala for a while. That player is damn near world class, but the player that we've seen this season is nowhere near, and I think we have to be honest about that. And that doesn't mean that he's not talented. It doesn't mean I don't love him. But it's been hard to watch. Timber was putrid against Forest. Good Lord. He was really poor against Forest. That being said, what are you going to do? Arteta literally played him over Miles Lewis Skelly. That's how bad it's been. I think if Miles had been in any shade of form, Timber would have sat that game out or would have played on the right. And I get that, there's a lot of talk about Timber not being good in the final third and, him stopping attacks and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I hear that. I totally hear that. But maybe if we had a system that set up our attackers more and wasn't so fully focused on these fullbacks, and our attackers just scored more goals and were more dangerous and dynamic, maybe we wouldn't need our fullbacks to be up there doing bullshit, because I don't particularly think any of our fullbacks are amazing in the final third. I think White and Calafiori are probably the more clean in the final third, and Calafiori is just like a freak of nature. But the way we defend, I would love it if our fullbacks could just fullback for a minute and our attackers could just like bear the brunt of the attacking, but they can't. They need our defenders to pitch in because they're so unreliable, So you'll never catch me saying anything bad about Timber because he's a center back by trade playing fullback. And Arteta has him ghosting into the box, and people are like, "Oh my, he's so shit in the final third." Well, of course he is. Damn, he's a fucking defender. He's like an elite defender. If he was good at attack, that'd be a plus. That would be a plus for me. Any defender that's good at attack, that's a plus because you're already doing your job. But the people that are supposed to be doing their job are not doing it. So, somebody said that they just realized that Arsenal didn't have a single player in the top 20 goal scorers for the Premier League season this season. I said, you couldn't guess that by your eyes. I don't have to see a list of players to know that not a single one of our players are in the top 20 goal scorers. We should have at least one player in the Premier League alone at 10 goals, and they're not even anywhere near it. That's all I'm gonna say. So Timber not being good in the final third, I'd love for him to be better in the final third, but I'd like to see him there less, and I'd like to see our attackers shoot, score, you know, put the ball in the back of the net, you know. That's it. They get a lot of help from the defense, so yeah. Um, the same people that complain about Ben defensively but want to start because of his overlapping. I mean, if you play Ben, you have to understand that he's going to get cooked. But he is good in the final third. He does put the ball in dangerous positions and he has a good relationship with Saka. Now, do I think that that's going to work in every single game? No. I'm going to start Timber in probably 80% of games because at the end of the day, I don't think he's that bad in the final third where he can never play. And I think I feel safer with somebody that I know is just going to completely lock down their best winger or one of their best forwards. Um, but if you want to have more overlapping and you should play Ben and that's fine. But just know he's going to get cooked at least once. Like that's the payoff. And with most players, there's a payoff. It's so rare that players are so complete. Yeah, you can name players that are complete. You can't really name a lot of them, that are like elite in the attack, elite defensively, elite off the ball, elite on the ball, good dribblers, good passers, good shooters, good ball strikers, good everything. So rare. So there's always a trade-off with most players. And the trade-off with Timber is that maybe you won't get as good, in the final third, but you play Ben, maybe he'll get cooked once or twice. There's trade-off with like literally everyone, but they're the least of our problems. Like our defenders are the least of our problems. Them being bad in the final third is just not that big of a deal. We need to adjust the system where the system needs to be built around our attackers being created for or them creating for each other because it's so rare that you see Saka create for Trossard and vice versa. They're very separate. We don't have that. We have fullbacks ghosting into the box. Like, what is that about? That's a systematic thing, so yeah. Hey Jesse, good to have you back. Hope you're good. I am good. Thank you so much. And I hope you're doing well too. When will people realize that Mikel cannot coach an attack? I've said that for years. And I felt very like I'm saying it with like a stamp. Arteta cannot coach an attack. And when I say that, I mean specifically platforming his attackers, putting people in good positions to score, playing attractive, fluid attacking football as well. He plays a percentage game. He plays the law of averages. He tries to get that, little extra bit of whatever through corners and throw-ins and things like that. But fundamentally, our attackers outside of the 22-23 season have their numbers have gone down, 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 down. And that's not because they're the worst players in the world. It's because the way that we play, that's the Arteta thing. But also when they do get chances, they're not clinical, and when you have a Martinelli missing the chance that he did against Nottingham Forest, that's on him, so I think it's probably to me right now, like 60-40. It's 40% Mikel, not being able to platform the attackers in particular. But that doesn't mean that we don't create good enough chances for someone to score. Whether that's, Zubamendi or Declan Rice, coming into the box and finishing chances, whether that's, Marino ghosting in the box, whether that's Martinelli finding it on the back post. So it's 60-40, but because Arteta's attacking principles are a little stiff and rigid, you need to have attackers that are clinical because they're not going to get so many chances. And that's the disconnect. For somebody that's so kind of like rigid in the way that we do attacking, and we're very like, we don't want to lose the ball. We want to attack in a certain way. We're super patterned and we're probably going to get 2, maybe 3 good chances a game. those players need to put that ball in the back of the net. And you couldn't have picked a more unclinical group of attackers. And then you want to add Anthony Gordon to the group. We have about 3 minutes until the game starts, guys. So I'm already on the channel. So hopefully you guys have your stuff set up because we're about to get started. Sorry, I just saw some stuff. Let's see, which team in the league is playing this prime attacking football? The league is very formulaic now. Big teams meet small teams, small team, low blocks. No, I understand that. I get that. And the league changes and all that kind of stuff. But do I still feel like we could do a little bit more to be a little bit more attack minded at times? Yes. Like instead of just, how do I explain? I feel like we have gotten to a place where the deep blocks are happening and we're like, well, that means that we can't do any better. But plenty of teams come up against deep blocks and are still able to create more chances than we're able to create. So I think there's other ways of doing it. And some of it just comes down to having elite talent in those attacking positions so that they can figure out different things and different ways to unlock it. And so when you decide that you're going to have a group of very unclinical forwards that don't have any like elite they're not elite attackers, you know what I mean? Like they're not Thierry, they cannot bail you out. They're not like a Santi or an Alexis or anything like that. Then you need to find different ways. And it can't just be corners and set pieces. We've done that, but you need to figure out a little bit more. That's all I'm saying. I still think there's some things that Arteta has blind spots about, but I'm not fully blaming him. I think the attackers are not clinical and they shit the bed. I think they shit the bed against Nottingham Forest. I do. I think they panicked because they didn't score right away. Like they always do. If they don't score in the first like 20 minutes, all of a sudden they're like, oh shit, we were supposed to score by now. And then they just, anytime they get a chance, then they start shitting the bed. So it's not fully on Mikel, but I don't think he's fully exonerated from not being able to find solutions to make us more dynamic and create more chances for a group of attackers that are not clinical at all. They're not clinical. Gyökeres, Martinelli, Madueke was surprising, and I think it was the wrong choice. But here come the captains. It is Saka and Lautaro Martinez. I love the long sleeve home. Every time I see somebody wearing it, it looks so good. Just in case you guys couldn't hear. You guys wanted to hear it from me. I agree. Martinelli, Gyökeres, Odegaard shot the bed last weekend. Now, hold on now. Odegaard didn't miss any chances. He didn't have any chances, but he didn't miss any. So, and also he was off at like the 55th minute and nothing got better. And that's my other thing is like, I can understand people wanting him drop, but it never gets better even when he comes off the pitch. So yeah, you can't shit the bed if you didn't have the chances. Really it was the attackers. They were poor. And Odegaard, he came off and he should have gotten hooked. That being said, it didn't get better after he came off. So like I said, this is a big game for Eze because people like Josh have been calling for Odegaard's head and saying that he shouldn't be playing. He should be stripped of the captaincy. He should be off. He should be out of the team, blah, blah, blah. That's cool. But your players have to step up when, Odegaard, because that's basically Eze's issue is he has played since Odegaard has been back. And he also played when Odegaard was not here and was injured. And he didn't stamp his authority on that position the way that you guys are acting like he was. Like he really didn't. So basically he's being gifted this, he should be, doing this and that, and he should be starting. He's being gifted that goal. Come on. Based on the fact that you guys just don't like Odegaard. It's not because he's played well. So he has to play well today. He must. He has to. Yeah, because there was a period of time between when it was Marino and Eze were starting a lot of those games, and there were videos being made by Wolves and Arsenal fans. There was Twitter conversations, Instagram conversations about whether or not Eze was living up to the hype. That did not happen. He was ghosting through lots of games. So at the end of the day, this is a big game for him. He's not playing with scrubs. He's playing in a big game, and there's not really any pressure. It's a big game with very little pressure. It's like two big teams with there's no pressure really. So there should be no excuses. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, and he was poor against Portsmouth, and Portsmouth are shit, you know. So yeah, come on, come on, come on, come on. This should be it. Oh no. So yeah, it's a big game for him because you can't keep saying that he deserves to play when he does get minutes and doesn't do anything. So goal. Oh, Jesus, how? How does he miss? He got bumped off the ball. This is good pressure. Good start so far. Eze was outshone by Nwaneri against Portsmouth and Marino. This is my thing. It's like I'm not, oh shit. I'm not like an anti-Eze. You guys know I really want him at the club, but I'm not gonna lie about his performances. He's had moments, but he hasn't really had full performances where he's influenced the game. And I think that's the disconnect that I personally have with him that I feel like he needs to rectify. I think he has a big role to play, but there's just been games where I just looked at it, I said he didn't do shit, and that's just the reality. So you're not going to unseat, especially when you had 2 months. He had 2 months where Odegaard was out, and people were excited for Odegaard to come back, which let me know that people were not excited about what he gave us. So, yeah, he just needs to play better. I'm so happy to see Mascara back. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I needed to see Mascara back. I love Mascara. Down. This is your chance, Miles. Like, this is an opportunity to get that form up and to gain a little bit of confidence. Like, he's such a good, like, top player. He just needs to, like, relax. Like, and maybe it just all came too quickly. He was playing good, then he was out of the team, and he got the England call up. Tuchel's talking shit about how, you know, he's not going to make the team if he's not starting. I just think it all just came on a little bit too quickly. But that is a talented boy. Shoot, Saka. Let's see. Eze must step up. He has talent, ability, but he is not adapted as quickly or as well expected. And that's just the ability. You can say in one respect that like Odegaard has been poor, but it's not like Eze has been good either. So it's kind of like he needs to step up when he gets the opportunity because he's actually it's unfortunate for him because he's going up against the captain and he's also going up against the guy that Arteta likes the most to play in that position when Odegaard is not playing well. So he's going to have to lift his levels, and people don't want him to have to lift his levels. They just want him to be given the position. And I've never seen a player not have to like do anything. Because one thing I know for sure is a lot of these players that people don't want playing over others, like they have at least like receipts of them playing really well and doing a lot for this team. Eze has a couple of little bright moments, so he's gonna have to do a lot more, I feel, than just exist to get more playing time. So we're doing good stuff. I like this. Let's just get the opening goal. Maybe we can do it on the corner. Let me get the score up as well. There we go. Come on, Mascara. Do something. Do something. I'm so happy he's back. That was such a good little pickup. I love how he's so cheap. I love it. We really stole from them. Oh, no. Come on, Eze. Show the talent. Come on. You can make a moment out of nothing. Inter did not destroy us last season. Hello. They scored 1 goal because Marino had a European handball. They did not destroy us. They had 1 chance, and that was the penalty. They did not destroy us last season. Come on. Good. Ooh. Come on, boys. Get an early goal. First 10 minutes. Saliba. That was really good from Saliba. Good. We are playing like 23, 24. You mean in this game? Or just in general? Because I haven't seen enough of the game to feel like we're playing like anything, really. I feel like we're doing good. We have like this is the thing is like we'll start off quick like this, but we need to get the payoff, which is the goal. You know, that's all I'm really looking at. Yeah, I don't agree with the Inter conversation. We quite literally they got 1 chance, and that was that penalty. That's the European penalty where if it grazes your finger, then it's a penalty. And then we just could not break them down. And I don't know if a deep block is tactically outclassing a manager. It was just we couldn't break down the deep block, which was a problem all season. I don't know. Do you guys consider somebody putting up a deep block and a better team not being able to get through as a tactical masterclass? Because when Arteta was doing it, when we were shit, when nobody calling that shit a tactical masterclass. The only time that they called it they even called it a masterclass when we beat Man City in the FA Cup. No, no, ain't no tactical masterclass. You park the damn bus, like park the damn bus. You park the bus. If we win and get a good performance, do you think Arteta will reward this team and start them against United? No, I definitely think that I think that the players that are not playing right now are going to be rested. I think they're being rested for United. So, good job, mascara. Come on, Eze. Foul, Rafa. Yeah, I think you'll see the lineup that you expect to see. That's what I would say. Should it be that way? No. But no. That's just kind of how it is. Come on, let's get this early goal. Oh, where are you going, Timber? Oh no, that's Saliba. Come on, Zuby, find that pass. Come on, Eze, shoot! No. Yeah! Yeah! Timber assist. Is that a Timber assist? Is it onside? Okay, Timber, that wasn't really an assist, but we're going to give it to you. We're going to give it to you. We got the early goal in the first 10 minutes. Let's fucking go. Oh my God, I'm so happy for Jesus. Everybody that was involved in that was really good. Eze, who did he pass to? Did he pass to Trossard? Zuby, everybody. Let's go. That was really good. Timber assist. We take those. We take those. We take those. Let's go. Would you play Jesus or Glock as the number 9 against Man United? I would be looking to drop Gyökeres, but I've been trying to drop him for a while now. So I know people are like not too excited about Jesus's current performances, but there's been no like thought process around like you guys, he's been out for a year with 2 knee injuries or like a knee injury. The idea that he was just going to come straight in and not have to like get up to speed. I just feel like some people just don't get any like time, you know. So to me, I thought Jesus has done well since coming back in, all things considered. I probably would be starting him because I just don't think Gyökeres offers enough. I really don't. So that's just kind of where I'm at with him. Yeah. Let's go, let's go. Oh, I am gonna be talking to Judge Mo because we're absolutely blamming them right now. We just need to some of this like good lead up play. I want it to end in shots though. I feel like sometimes it's like we do all this great build up and then we get onto the wings and we slow it down. Cut it in and take a pop. Test the goalkeeper, you know? Yeah, Kanji, nobody was talking to you. Like, well, they technically were, but at the same time, I was just like, you know, to sit there and be like, Arsenal are not the best team in the world. It's Bayern. It's like, so it's not even your old team or you. You act like you ate that. You didn't eat that. Like, you sound dumb. Like, it's Bayern. You're twerking. They're never going to come get you. Shut up. Like, I can't stand a kanji. Like, it's Bayern. Like, it's not your team or Man City. So that's not what you thought it was. Can't stand him. Get it? Good Saliba. That guy, what's the fullback's name over there? De something? I'm gonna call him DeMarco. He will always be the guy that had one of the biggest mares I've ever seen in a Champions League final. Ever since that day, I've always looked at him like, yo, you are ass. Like, and I know he's not, and you can have a bad game, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody have like an individual mare that he had like in a Champions League final. No, I think his name is Marco. Good Saliba. Uh-oh. Get it, Raya. Good. Yeah, he's trash. At least in that you know, it's like one game will make you think so differently about a player. And that Champions League final, I was like, "Ooh, honey, that was awful." Saka could play in midfield, needed a Kanji stinker. Agreed. Do you agree that Gyökeres belongs in the same category as Sanogo and Shamak? No, what are we doing? Good. Maybe like Francis Jeffers. Like, I don't know. It's hard to say now because it's just the season's not done. But right now I do think I would put him in the flop category, you know, so he's really like anybody kind of would have been better. Like I feel like that's how I feel about him. Like I feel like we could have got Ollie Watkins, he would have been better. Like we could have Brian Bobry up front. He would be better, you know, so bad miscalculation. Okay, let's get on to the ball now. Good mascara. Jesus. Miles, you're so slow. Get over there. I didn't realize how slow Miles was until this season. Maybe he lost pace. He could not have been. He couldn't have been. Like he couldn't have been this slow last season. He must have something. Good. Oh no, we lost it. All right, let's just calma just a little bit. Workhorse category. He's slightly above them. Drogba's first season at Chelsea when they won the league. Guess his number of goals. Just guess, y'all. Well, I'm sure you'll tell us, but I need to know, like, was his performances like this? I think what with Gyökeres is the performances are matching up with the goal tally for me. And if he did not have the penalties, which I think he's taken 3, then he would have like what, 4 goals or something like that this season in all competitions, or no, more than that. 6 maybe, I don't know. But the performances are lining up with somebody who he's not up our level. He's just not, like, to me. So yeah. Okay, honeys, let's not just see these. I know that they're pressing us, but we need to keep onto the ball a little bit more. We scored the goal and then got a little sloppy. Of course, they're pushing for a goal now. I get that, but last, like, maybe 2 minutes have been a little weird. Let's see. Bottom line, we could do with a bit more patience. 10 goals all season. The fans hated him and called him weak for falling over all the time. No, that's fair. I hear that. I'm surprised the way Inter are playing. They are not sitting back. Well, maybe the are we gonna concede, Chamaria? Oh, we concede, I guess. Damn. Damn. I'm so not used to us conceding, but what did I say? Those last couple minutes after we scored, we just completely got so sloppy, so that was all, like, Mascara does that, slides. We don't clear the ball. We're clanging it off of each other, and then he just comes up and shoots it. So, yeah, a little bit of calma would be nice, but it's okay. It's okay. We can still, like, rebound from this, and that's a great strike, but this has been kind of like a growing theme is we score, and then instead of, like, gaining the control of the game, they start pushing onto us, and then we'll concede something, and it's after, like, kind of like a couple, like, little bumbles and not kicking the ball out and all that. But it's a good strike and enter a decent team. So yeah, we just need to, when we score, we need to just try to go score a second one and not get sloppy. This game is wide open though, so we could probably score again if we really want to. Eze! We always sit back, no shock we conceded. I can't lie, what a strike. Now that's someone that can shoot. Italians don't know much, but they know how to shoot. And Eze, what kind of finishing is that? I think did it not deflect? No, it didn't. Yeah, but listen, we can come back, obviously, but we were really sloppy right after we scored. Just control it a little bit. We got too many players letting it hit off their shins and shit. Just relax. It feels so weird conceding at times because we just don't concede that often. I know that sounds so arrogant, but it's like, I was like, when Shamario was like, "Oh no," I was like, "We conceded?" Uh, and to be fair to Inter, they did start, like, pushing right after we scored, but we need to be able to win that 5 to 10-minute battle after we win. When they're trying to wrestle some control and push, we need to figure out a way to gain a little bit of control in those moments, because the same thing happened against Chelsea. Every time we scored, they came back and then they had control over the game for, like, the next 15 minutes. And I get it that they're putting pressure, but like we need to like win our battles, keep the ball, slow it down a little bit. So yeah, I'm nitpicking, but that's what I'm here for, is to nitpick a little bit. Do you think sitting back thing is tactical? I think it's a little bit, it's two things. It's when they concede, they usually try to score in the next 5 minutes. You're the most vulnerable after you score because they're pushing and then you can lose a little bit of concentration. So I don't necessarily think Arteta's telling them to sit back. I just think we lose concentration after we score and we kind of let the other team get a little bit of momentum because we don't keep the ball. This is probably, I know we have good possession stats, but this is probably the one season where I can say that I don't think Arsenal keep the ball particularly well at times. I think we can be a little agricultural at times. You just see our players just kicking it. And instead of killing teams off with 1,000 passes like we were doing a season or two ago, we start kicking it, and I think that's more of the issue than anything. What's happening? I feel like something bad is about to happen. Um, why did he do all that just to give the ball away? Ugh. Yeah, and this is the thing. I don't think we've been particularly good this season at keeping the ball. Um, I think we've been sloppy where we've always been able to like pop it around and find those triangles. That hasn't been the case this season. We've been just kicking it and like what Saliba just did, just giving the ball away. That wasn't something that we were particularly doing a lot last season or the season before or the season before. So I don't know what this is, but we need to go back to basics and try to, after we score, try to kill them with the passes and just kind of wrangle control. But we kind of, and then when you give them moments like what Saliba just did, they start to gain a little bit of like, okay, we're rattling them, and then they start to do more of that stuff. So yeah, it's just, I'm nitpicking because being 1-1 right now against Inter in a game that's pretty consequential, not that big of a deal, but I'm just nitpicking. Come on, Eze. Go. Good, Eze. Oh, that it didn't look like a foul to me, but I guess it was. Um, and one thing that stood out to me in the Nottingham Forest game is that when we were just passing it sideways and backwards, there was a moment where you could see they showed the sideline and Saliba had the ball and Arteta was telling him to, pass it forward and Saliba passed it back. And Arteta went absolutely mental. He said, "Willow, Willow," and Saliba put his hand up. This is why I don't always buy into this idea that Arteta's telling them to pass it sideways and backwards. You know, I don't. I don't think he's, has them on a leash like that. So, um, yeah. Look how, see how I told you DeMarco shit. He just tripped over his own feet. Come on, Trusty. Good. Corner. If we draw, we win the group. Also, we remain unbeaten. It's not without spoils. Dortmund have a red card against Tottenham. Damn. Well, that's early to have a red card. Only been 25 minutes. God. Well, Tottenham are shit anyway, so who cares? It's like they're so insignificant that even in a moment where they're like so bad, I don't even like look at their scores or anything. I'm like, oh shit, they lost another game. Yeah, it needs to clear the first defender. That's a poor corner. Um, It's gotta clear the first defender. I think I'm learning stuff about this coach today because obviously this is not they had a coaching change after the Champions League final. And so they've had this new coach and they've been scoring lots of goals and playing differently according to Judge Mo. So I'm learning about this new coach as we go. And yeah, because I'm still trying to get into Serie A. That's why we're gonna do the double watch along on Sunday, where we'll watch Arsenal versus Man United, but also have another screen with Napoli and Juve because it's like their title race is so interesting every year. But I just need to like lock the fuck in, you know? I just need to lock in. So yeah, but I'm learning new things. I'm learning about this coach like as we play against them because hey, that was I thought that was a foul. Get Uh-oh. Are we about to concede? What's happening? They should have scored right then, you know. That was really crazy, actually. Are we okay? I'm getting cooked a little bit. Oh, he did get the ball. He did get the ball. I thought he did get the ball. I thought it was a foul, but it's not. Yeah. So So, yeah, we just need to gain some composure. One of our problems is the other team running like Lucas is saying they're running at us. We don't necessarily have the most athletic team, especially if there's no Rice in there. And when you're playing hot potato football and you can't hold on to the ball, then you just give them confidence and then they can just keep running at you. So they need to keep on to the ball. Okay, Saliba, what the fuck was that? I can't lie, Arsenal started off well, but in the last 10, 15 minutes, Inter have been the better side. I agree, I think they have been the better side in the last couple of, minutes for sure. Nah, we're not okay. Rice has left a gap for their counters. Here is where Rice is missed in big games. Jesus ball control is refreshing. 2-0 Madrid, Vinny and Mbappe, and we're losing the physicality battle. And here's my thing, I wanna pick your guys' brains on this because I've been thinking a lot about the fact that we just don't have, like, the most physical side. Like, we don't lose a lot of physical battles like against attacks because we have a very athletic back line, but that doesn't necessarily extend anywhere forward. And so when we don't have players like a player like Rice who kind of keeps us competitive in games where we're getting, you know, overran in midfield, why don't we lean into the technical side of things a little bit more? It feels like we try to out physical teams or go bar for bar and band for band with teams that, you know, like I feel this way about like when we play against Newcastle and Villa at times and Chelsea is they clearly have the more physical midfield. So why don't we go more technical and just try to pass it around them and technical our way out of it? But it just feels like we try to outdo them at a game that they're a little bit better than us at, and that's what irritates me. If you have a midfield right now of Eze, Zubamendi, and Marino, you can make an argument that that's one of our most technical midfields, right? You take Rice and maybe Odegaard out. Odegaard's more technical than, you know, but if you take those two out and you put Eze in and Marino, it should be a pretty technical midfield. So let's out technical them and pop it around them and not try to deal with the physical battles as much. Keep the fucking ball, but we don't do that. We try to out physical other physical sides, and that agitates me a little bit because it's like you have to change your game just ever so slightly. Come on. I don't know. That's I'm just trying to figure out how we get beyond games like this cuz that's a pretty technical midfield there. Can we not find some triangles? Can we not pop it around? You know, just a little bit. That's all I'm asking. Um you guys are so funny. I don't even care about it being a what's it called? Spoiler. I love when you guys kind of tell me ahead of time sometimes. Set piece FC. Go. And we scored from open play. What's he bitching about? Way to go. Not a kanji.
Terreno de juego, por lo pronto vende este servicio, Gorriarán la comba hacia adentro, remate de cabeza, goles.
Where's the kanji? Kanji. The fact that they're looking for the referee to do something for them is insane. Yeah, Jesus is wide open. What are they acting? You know, what are they asking for? Oh, I think Saliba, but Saliba, the goalkeeper, is in no man's fucking land. Like, what? Are you okay? Like, good job, Jesus. I'm proud of you, bro. He's backing up that chat about wanting the new contract. I don't know if we should give it to him, but back that chat, bro. I like that. We're back up. I need you to get the word out that we're back up. Let's go. Let's go. Our two shorties scored and assisted. Let's go. Let's go. You know I love a Trossi assist. You know I love me some Trossi. Okay, what's happening here? Saliba keeps getting in these little things with Lautaro. Y'all want to do, let me know. I'll probably do it anyway, but would you guys be interested in a little watch along tomorrow for Liverpool versus Marseille? I know like Ethan won't be there, but just for shits and gigs, just to hang out again, like, you know, let me know if you guys be interested in that. Because I do think I'm going to tune into that game. It looks a little tasty. Like it could be interesting because Marseille have some good players. So let me know if you guys would be interested in that. I may just set it up and if you guys come, you know. So good job, ref. Way to defend. Okay, cool. Some of you guys say that you oh damn, I don't care, Jess. Do a watch along for United. If you do a DG double watch along, then we'll all tune in. Well, I'll ask him if he wants to, because I know we can collaborate now. So if he's actually going to be doing the watch along and he's not going to be at Talksport, you know, because he's so, he's a celeb now, then maybe we can do a collaboration for the United one, because I'd be open to that for sure. I just know I'm going to be sick. Like, that's all I know. I'm going to be sick. I would be interested. Absolutely sure. Yeah. Because it could just end up being a decent game. Also, Quentin Timber is there now. Family, you know? People actually thought he was coming to Arsenal. I was like, be serious. We're not buying a midfielder. We could barely, keep the ones we got. Uh-oh. Why is he wide open in the middle? There are just times where there's just the biggest gaps. What the fuck is that? Ooh, Trossard. Damn. You were the hostess with the mostest and said, oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. That's so sweet. Trossard not looking good. It looked like he got kicked. He got kicked. Good, Trossard. Good. We got the ball back. Haha, you're cool, Jess. Watching Liverpool, we all know we're going to have a laugh. Listen, the game's the game. Sometimes you just got to watch and just see what's going on. I just want to see. So I'm just here for the shits and gigs. Don't mind me. I'm just going to snack a little bit. I love Ritz crackers. So yeah. But yeah, we're doing okay. We're doing all right. Would like a little bit more control, but maybe that's just because that's what I'm used to. Maybe I'm just like, we need to have the ball, but maybe we don't. Maybe it's okay. I don't know. So I must admit, Liverpool are even more shit than I anticipated when I said in the summer City is our biggest rival. I couldn't care less. It's just fun to watch other people, you know? We struggle to adjust to two-striker system of Latoro and Thuram have a lot of space. Yeah, and they're like, there's nobody free to just win the ball because we have that a lot of times where one of our so they're on Saliba and Gabriel just cleans up everything, but you can't just clean up. Oh, Saka. What was that? That's shit. Saka should have at least hit the target. So yeah. Saka should have passed. He should have just kicked it in the back of the net. That's my thing with Saka this season is, yes, he's putting the ball in dangerous positions and he's a good creator for us. But, oh, mascara, honey bunch, just control the ball. See, that was like something that this shouldn't have happened. This shouldn't have happened. Like, they should not have the ball right now. Oh, Miles, you are so slow. Good, Miles. Good. Yeah, but yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Doesn't matter. It wasn't important. MLS, that's very good defending. Yeah, that was good. That was good. I like that. Yeah, at least hit the post. It just was a terrible shot. That's my thing with Saka this season. That's what I was saying. Is he's putting the ball in good positions for other people, but if you're gonna be the guy, you kind of have to score goals too. And I just feel like he's lacked that. You know, I know it's like you don't want to say anything bad about Saka, but it's not really bad. It's just I'm noticing that there's not a lot of goals there. And you know, maybe he is trying too hard, like Josh is saying, he's desperate, but they've clocked you. They know what you're gonna do. They know you're gonna cut it in on your left. They know it, you know, so maybe go end line and just smash it into the roof. I don't know, do something different, but my goodness, do we need him to start scoring some goals? Come on. Oh, shit. How did that happen? Lord. What the hell happened? Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like there's always somebody on the center back. So our center backs can't just clean up because either Thuram or Lautaro are just like on them. But I don't know even how that happened. We had the ball, and all of a sudden the ball was going straight into Thuram's foot. He may need to reinvent himself. Yep. Saka should get some assist goals will come. Miles is slow. Someone lost the ball. Happened. Okay. Inter looking dangerous in their counterattack. Yeah. Yeah, they're looking dangerous. But when you sit up at the halfway line, I feel like, you know, that you're always going to look good on the counterattack unless you're just like the worst team because there's tons of space. Go, Saka! That DeMarco is a bum. Go. Yeah. I need an Eze goal. I think even more than an Eze goal, I think we just need Eze performance. Like, I just think he needs to be more influential. I know he's a moments guy, but he's never going to make it in this team if he's only good for moments. He can't go through the game. I think he started off pretty positively, but you know, pretty much since the first goal, I haven't seen much of him. But yeah, I would definitely take any sort of goal. But I think I'm looking more for him to be more involved in what we're doing. Maybe he doesn't have to be, but yeah. Oh shit. Is he okay? I think he low key fell. I think he low key fell. Like hurt himself low key. Oh no. Never mind. Who is that? Oh, it's Marino. Oh, Marino fucked him up. Oh well. Damn. You're okay. Get up. You got the foul. You're fine. Get up. Seriously, how do we lose the ball there? Now we overdid it and hurt the goalkeeper. 8 out of 10 performance. I feel like we just need to see Eze influencing the game a little bit more. So far, Jesus is playing good. Zuby playing good. Oh, as I know. That's all I can say right now. They're getting chances. Damn. Self-inflicted injury there for Trossard. I think an Arsenal player fouled him, kind of. Miles slipping and sliding all over the place. Yeah, like Miles and Trossard run into each other, and then Trossard. No, Lautaro Martinez kicked him in the calf. That's a foul. That is a foul. Hello, ref. He scraped him on both of his calves. See, I thought it was like Arsenal on Arsenal crime there, but that hurt. Judge Mo is stressed. About what? What are you stressed out about? Are they not at the top of this group too? Like third or something? Am I tripping? Where are they at? I don't know why he's stressing out. He got no reason to be all stressed out. Surely not. Good mascara. Eze, you missed it. Oh, Marino, you. We are sloppy. We're sloppy. We're sloppy. That was just calamitous right there. Get it together. Hello, puppies. Hello, puppies. Oh, enter in that 8th spot. That's why he's panicking. Okay, I get it. Oh my god. Jesus is so dramatic. He's so dramatic. Okay, did we need that pass, Jesus? We didn't need that Hollywood pass, honey. That's what I'm saying. Like passes like that, they just put us under pressure because everybody's running forward, and then you gave it away. And then what is this clearance? Foul. Good. Yeah. This is a must win for them. They lose, they fall out of the top 8. Arteta will be fuming. If Tottenham does better than you in a competition, you know you got problems. Eze doesn't come back after halftime. I mean, I think he should. I mean, I don't see any reason why we would change it up. I think these players need to solve these problems, and they need to, Miles definitely needs to play and get some confidence. Mascara needs minutes. Jesus needs minutes. Eze should stay out there and figure out how to influence the game more. He doesn't need to be taken off. 1 minute of extra time. Oh, Jesus, I thought you had that. Why is everyone slipping and sliding, looking like a newborn deer out there? I don't know. Good. Oh, that was almost good. Nice try. I like that idea because ultimately we should win this. Good. Exactly. Okay. Y'all are sloppy. And then you foul. Come on. Did we foul or no? Anyways, it's going to be halftime anyway. I'm watching Trossard for the last month. Purple patches behind him. Regressed a lot. Here's my thing, though, is a lot of people wanted Trossard out, you know, in the summer. So him being probably our best attacker this season and Marino not being too far behind him, I think says more about the so-called good players versus them. Like Marino and Trossard, I feel like if people were playing the way that they're supposed to, would be buried on the bench. You know, Marino wouldn't have gotten his spot back. Trossard wouldn't be a starter. So yes, Trossard's little maybe purple patch hasn't continued on, but ultimately, like, he was meant to be like the third person. It was supposed to be like Eze on the left, and then, you know, Martinelli, and then Trossard. And Trossard was meant to be gone, and everybody had a conniption when he got that pay bump. You know, so yes, Trossard can be frustrating, but he's done more than enough this season. And I just don't think that the other players are doing anywhere near enough. You know, unfortunately, we bought Nani. Nani was kind of expensive for a player that just does not have enough end product. He's basically the exact player that we thought he'd be. Saka is not scoring enough goals. He's had, you know, he's been a little, you know, Jokeris is Jokeris, you know, so yeah, but we're winning the game. So there's that. What's the difference? What a difference a month makes. A few weeks ago, everyone was jockeying Eze. Now everyone's riding him. I don't know. I just think we go through cycles as a fan base. Like, anybody who's not playing is always the answer. And I think when he wasn't playing at the beginning of the season, he was meant to be the answer. Then he came in, he wasn't the answer. And then they wanted him out. Then Odegaard came back in. Now Odegaard's not the answer, and Eze's the answer. I just think anytime we're not playing well or we feel anxious or whatever, whoever's not playing is the answer. When I saw people acting like Kai Havertz was the answer, I was like, oh, we're just, you know, in a bad moment, you know, because there's no way that people think Kai Havertz is the answer to all of our problems. So yeah, I mean, I think Eze's best moments were, you know, the Spurs game, but that was a long time ago. In football terms, like, we've played so many games since then. So yeah, but ultimately with Eze, I think the biggest concern for me with him doesn't have anything to do with the talent, because we know it's there. Is it doesn't show up enough throughout his performance. And if there's not a moment, he's usually anonymous. Like today, that half, I can't name very much that he did outside of, like, maybe you can give him credit for starting the attack that got the first Jesus goal. So yeah, but I think he should get the whole game today, you know, to see if he can, you know, do a little bit more. But yeah, so far it's all right. Should have gotten Semenyo over Madueke when we had the chance. Stop the Trossard agendas. I love Trossard. I personally do not have a thingy against Trossard. I just think he's definitely a squad player and he plays like one. And usually when he has to play more, it's because a starter is not playing well enough. And that's never talked about as much as people's frustrations with Trossard. It's like, oh my God, Trossard, he's not fast. Oh my God, Trossard, he's not doing this. Oh my God, Trossard, but the only reason why Trossard is out there is because other dudes aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. So, like, when are we going to talk about that? You know, because Trossard, I don't think, this is a speculation, but I don't think he's Arteta's favorite player. I just think he's the best solution for Arteta now. If he had another solution that he could really rely upon, he would be using that. So there's that. So true. Just a couple weeks ago, we're saying Odegaard back to his best, looks stronger 50-50. Now he's a bum. I mean, but he's not a bum, and neither is Eze. It's just players have bad games, and then all of a sudden, whoever's on the bench is the answer, and then they play. And a lot of people, again, like these last like 48 hours, I deleted Twitter again because I was like, I can't do this. But the negativity around certain players, and like Eze's brand and Ethan's brand have never been higher. Just like Kai, their brands are so high because they're not playing. But as soon as you watch them play again, it's like, oh, maybe they're not the answer. So that's all I'm saying. It's not always about the players on the bench or being treated badly, and they need more playing time, and they need this. I don't know. Question: why do you think so much of our fan base has been babying Gyökeres or Eze? I love them, but we often overlook so much on the performance and gas up the basics. Because they were meant to replace two players that people do not like. There's a big percentage of this fan base that does not like Kai Havertz and Odegaard, and so they were the perfect players to take them out, and and that was meant to be the solution, but it hasn't worked out that way. The amount of people that tried to gaslight us into thinking that people were holding Gyökeres back, he wasn't being like, he's just not at our level. Even if you play Tim more, there's just no reason why Jesus and Kai Havertz and Marino, when they play up there, they all get chances. You don't get chances because your runs are weird. You're never in the right place when you need to be. We could do more with him, but I feel like with Gyökeres, people wanted so badly for him to take over and get over Kai, because that was a huge conversation. Remember, Arteta doesn't want Gyökeres because he would take Kai Havertz's position. So he's going after this child instead. He's going after Sesko, who's shit, and all that kind of stuff. And then it ended up being the case that maybe he's just not good enough. Now with Odegaard, it's the exact same thing. After last season, nobody, like the big section of the fan base, doesn't like him, strip him of the captaincy, he's shit, blah, blah, blah. So Eze was supposed to come in and take over his spot, and he didn't do that. He had 2 months with no competition, as like Odegaard was not there and Marino was playing in the 9, and it was okay. It was okay. So I think that's where there's a lot of babying, because there's a lot of narratives in this fan base, a lot of player FC, and there's just certain players that were meant to come in and render certain players useless. And now people are dying for Kai Havertz to be back, which I know it's dark. If people want Kai Havertz back, Gyökeres has been a monumental, disappointment, really. So let's see. I don't mind Gyökeres, but the Odie hate is insane. Last night I was trying to convey stats about his man of the match performances against Villa and Brighton, but they all forgot. It's insane. Listen, I am like, I just feel like once the fan base is on you, the fan base is on you, So I think people, to a certain extent, only want to see us win if we win with people that they like. And to see people say things like, I wish it was a different team. If we do win it, I'll be happy, but I wish it was a different team. I just know they lost the plot. Odegaard did not play well against Liverpool or Nottingham Forest. I'm not saying he played well. I think he deserved to be hooked against Nottingham Forest for sure, because I was calling for him to be hooked, because I was like, you're not playing good, get the fuck out. We don't have time for this. But the idea that like he's a bum is like wild to me. But a couple of games ago, people were saying that he was back. Not even just me, but like fans and fans of other teams. So football is very fickle. One day you're in, next day you're out. People are very much so like, what have you done for me lately? The last 45 minutes that you played is usually the last thing that people think you are. And ultimately, I just think that, we could use with our attacking mids, whether that's Marino or Odegaard or Eze, to gain a little bit of form and to play good for like 10 games. We could really use that, no matter who it is. And personally, I don't really care who it is. I just want to win the league. If Eze can get his form up and play well and, he's better than Odegaard and he's playing, that's fine because for me, I just want us to win. But I don't really think anybody has done enough to make Arteta drop the captain, so yeah, that's it for me. What do you think will be our goals tally at the end of the season? I don't even know. I don't know. Our actual goal tally, how many goals do we have right now? All I keep looking at is that points tally and thinking, how can it be more? How can it be more? So right now we have 40 goals. And we're what, like halfway? A little bit over halfway, right? I don't know. I feel like we really haven't. It's not like we're not scoring any goals, but is this a low scoring season for the Premier League? Everybody else is in the 30s except for City. So if I'm going in and out, I'm just here. There's nothing I really can do about it. I'm just trying to get it. Maybe 80s. I think what's helping us is that our goals against is really low, but as games get tighter, it's really difficult for us to get at times like the first goal. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say, let's say like 85, maybe. I don't know. We should be scoring more goals than what we're scoring. They weren't being babied. It takes time to gel into the squad. We're very arguably the best team in the world. It takes time to integrate. This is a big step up for both. Well, either way, even if it's taking time, then we don't have to then make it other people's faults for them not playing well. Because that's the thing is if it's just an integration issue, then surely it's just about time and getting playing time and learning your teammates. I feel like there's just been this big push for it to be everybody's fault, but those players own. It's Arteta, it's Saka, it's the system, it's this and that. And I just don't know that a system is holding back these players from trapping a ball. Now when Gyökeres is not getting the ball at all, then I'm like really looking at it. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? But there's also times where we do put the ball across the box and he's nowhere to be found. So the Gyökeres one is really, really complicated because we've never really played with the traditional 9. Our history with the traditional 9 under Mikel, although really far back, would show you that maybe he's not the best with the traditional 9, but there's no way to me that it could all just be systematic with Gyökeres or all just his teammates trying to hold him back or whatever. Some of it is what you're seeing with your own 2 eyes. That chance that he had against Nottingham Forest, Kai Havertz at least gets space, daylight between him and that player, and at least gets a shot on target. He got caught up so easily by somebody who basically fell on the floor and couldn't get a shot on target. Sometimes I just feel like we're fighting what we're seeing with our own 2 eyes. With Gyökeres, I'm leaning more towards he's just not at our level. And even if we were playing more to his strengths, I think there would still be a gap in between what we thought we were getting and what we are getting, and a pretty significant one because we thought we're getting like the best striker in the world, one of. He came in saying he's just as good as Kane and he's just as good as Holland, and those are the levels that I feel like some of us thought we were getting. So, yeah. It is a low scoring. We scored 88 and 22, 23 and 91. Yeah, I'm gonna go like low. Like I'm gonna say we'll score like 85, somewhere around there. As much as I'm fed up with the manager, the reality is those players are hiding behind the manager being under pressure to win. Our fans just want 5-0 every game, or we are bottlers. It's twofold. I feel like I don't think people want that. They're not expecting 5-0 every single game. But we've really struggled to get any sort of games where we just beat teams easily. So every game feels like a fight. And I think that pressure is making people feel like we're not playing as well as our maybe results are showing us, or maybe where we are in the table is showing us. Every game does feel like a struggle, to be honest. Like, and I'm saying that like that's my opinion. My opinion is that almost every single game has felt like a fight. It's very rare that we have like 2 goals and we have daylight, even when we're playing shit teams. Because remember, we played Wolves at home and barely beat them. So I think people just want a 5-0 so that we can release the pressure just once and just breathe, but we're not getting that. And so there's a lot of micro analysis around mentality and players and all that kind of stuff. And I kind of understand it because this season feels like it's it, but we're never like, there's never like a moment to be like, okay, game done. Every single game has to go full 90. Every single game is like within a goal, you know? So I don't think people want 5-0 every game, but it would be nice to get one. It would be nice to just kill a team off in the first half, just once, you know? So I give people a little bit of grace on that, you know, because every game has felt very, you know, here they're coming out for the second half now. Make sure you guys are liking the video, subscribing to the channel. The watch along schedule is rolling down there at the bottom. We're doing one for Arsenal women. It is a dual game. City and Chelsea are playing against each other, and we're also playing against United. And so that is the the League Cup semifinal. So we're going to be doing that. And then we're also going to be doing the Man United game on Sunday. Also watching Napoli and Juve. So make sure you guys have notifications turned on and all that. And it looks like we're unchanged, which is the right thing. You know, the only thing I'm thinking is, why is Ben White not coming out there for Timber? Do you think there's a chance that Ben might start against United? Because if Timber's playing right now, surely we sit Timber down at some point. Surely. We must. We must. We must. Surely. Sorry, guys. I couldn't go back to the 45 seconds, so let's see if I can. Oh no. Well, that's unfortunate what I just did right there. That was not smart. Yeah. I started the whole shit over. Damn. Damn. I started the whole shit over. Fuck. All right. Oh well. You guys love me. It'll be okay. We'll survive it. But yeah. Why is Timber need to sit down? Come on, Marino. Just pass it, honey. You could have passed that so much earlier. Oh no. Well, then why is he not sitting down? Timber needs a rest. I'm standing on that. Timber needs a rest. We're playing with fire. But I have like anxiety over Timber for some reason. I always am scared that something bad is going to happen. But I think, oh, it's okay. I think witnessing the ACL has made me like almost like a helicopter mom. Like, oh my gosh, that's a great pass. Oh my gosh, like, is something going to happen to him? So maybe I just need to relax. Why does he have to chop? Just get it across the first time. Shit. If you were going to do that the whole time, you might as well just hit it across early. I don't think we need to do all the chop all the time. So yeah. Right. He's been needing a rest for like time now. I just feel like we're playing with fire. But we'll see. Why are they showing Raya? Did that come off us? That clearly came off of an Inter player. All right. Bro, we isolated our wingers versus the fullbacks and nothing. And I would never play Timber on the left wing against small teams. I actually wasn't opposed to getting a right back this Jan. Thank goodness Mascara is back. Yeah, for sure. After the United game, he needs rest for like 2 games. This was the time. But surely we fully rotate against Kuwait or whatever, then that should be children. I know it's like kind of disrespectful, but at the same time, it's like, bro, like something has got to give. We got to fully rotate somewhere where we can. I hope we get out of here with a win, but it feels kind of like a draw. Like they might get a goal at some stage, but I hope not. I hope we, get another goal. I think we're going to need to play offense because we're looking a little shaky defensively today. So good, Jesus. See, Jesus, that was really good. Jokeris, he couldn't do that. Shoot! Why do we never get the shot off, Trossard? See, that's what I'm saying. It's like that was such good attacking play, but it's like as soon as it hits somebody, so it's like, why can't we create separation and hit the shot or make the decision quicker? That pissed me off so bad because that was really good, like lead up play. That was good hold up play from Jesus, and we were open. We need a winger, bro. We need like a fast, direct, goal scoring, like crazy winger. We just do. We've suffered long enough. I love Trossard, but no, that was almost it. That was almost it. Again, go again. Get another shot off real quickly. That was a good little turn. Good, Eze. That's so much better. I feel like he should be finishing that, but it's on his left. So there's that. We need to keep attacking them because attack is our best defense today because we're looking a little shaky. Yeah, a little bit more power. Also, Nwaneri going out on loan, Dauman may get some game time, especially in the FA Cup. Yeah, let's see when he gets back from that injury. Is he back yet? Because I feel like he's still injured. Bring me Yildiz. Well, at least if we draw, make it harder for other English teams to secure the top 8. No, that was shocking. Come on. Yeah, Eze just needs to hit that with a little bit more power. Now, Timber, why did you... Good, Jesus. Now, don't give it up, honey. Foul, Raph! See, that was good center forward play from Jesus right there. He held that ball up, he took his time, and then he bought the foul. Listen, you might need to start against United. I'm gonna be serious. Like, we can always bring in Jokeris to run around later, but like, I'm sorry. Like, maybe it's just the busybody gimmick, and Jesus loves to just like run around and do a lot of stuff. But like, I need to feel like there's another player up there, and I never feel like there's no one up there when Jesus is. I don't feel like we're playing with one less player when Jesus is in there. It may feel like we don't have a striker, but I don't feel like I'm one man less. With Jokeris, sometimes I'm like, damn, there's nobody up there. Like, there's nothing happening. There's no other player. Like, we're playing with 10. Don't think there's a timeline on Dauman when he got injured. They said at least the end of Jan. Yeah, so I'm honestly, we have bigger things to think about than we're the kids. To me. What do you think about Ethan's loan? I saw it coming, but it seems like others are confident he'd stay. I think I don't have a problem with it. I think, him getting playing time is the best thing for his career right now. Selfishly, I would like him to stay just in case we got injuries, but I just feel like we have a lot of depth in that area. Um, yeah, personally, I feel like we have a lot of depth in that area. And even though I know that this fan base has a little bit of like, I don't know, anxiety about people going out on loan, um, he's going to be playing for a Champions League team with a good manager. So I don't know. I personally am okay with that. I'm okay with it. And I'm excited to watch him play. Like, I love Ethan and I love watching him play. I just think it is going to be difficult for him to get, playing time over Odegaard, Marino, and Eze. No matter what you think of those players, no matter how bad their form is at the time or whatever, these are like established internationals. It's not like Rob Holding is back there, so I think it's okay. I think it's okay. I actually like that he's not going to like some random team in the championship or League One or whatever. I think it's cool that he's going to be playing for a Champions League team. I think it's going to be cool for him. So I'm okay with it. It must be cold. Oh no, somebody is wearing the short sleeve Miles, but almost every other player. No, Jesus is wearing short sleeve. Almost, but outside of them, is everybody else wearing long sleeve? Yeah, it's cold. It must be cold out there. Good, Eze. That's good. That's the shit. I'm sorry. Even if you're there for the moments, you're gonna have to do the off the ball stuff, babe. That's unfortunately that's Arteta's shtick. Good, they fucked it. Pass it forward quickly. Now, why we let him catch up? I like that from Eze. He's fighting. Now get a goal. Get a goal. You must. I feel like the instructions at halftime was keep the fucking ball, like, and stop being ridiculous. Like, we're definitely like trying to keep the ball and trying to pass a little bit more, like kill them with the passes a little bit more. I wish we attacked a little bit quicker when we had the spaces, but it is what it is. Come on, get a cross in or get something in. Like it's DeMarco at the end of the day, Saka. Come on. Ooh, that was a much better cross from Saka. Some of his other crosses were a little bit like I just think you're just kicking it to be kicking it. Like try to pick someone out. That was close. And I'll be real, like, Trossard may not be playing well right now, but I still would prefer to see him than Martinelli. I'm sorry, but I just think at least Trossard holds on to the ball. I don't know. There's just something about Martinelli that makes me just feel like he's just an impact player off the bench. I'm still gonna pick Trossard over Martinelli probably every day of the week. Um, I know that Champions League is like his competition, but like no. Damn, Real Madrid are killing him. Monaco, fight back. Let's get another goal. I need that. Why is Richard Keys saying that Pep could be gone by the end of the week? No, he won't. Stop talking shit. That is just, he's not leaving before the end of the season. Let's be serious. I'm just eating Ritz crackers. Like, it's not anything special. I don't want to eat anything like too much right now, but I just have a couple little, actually, let me go get my Chips Ahoy. I'll be right back. Don't let them score. Boys. Okay. All right. So now, oh, he was offside. I got Chips Ahoy, chunky, the family size. We're gonna eat a couple of these too. They're begging. My dogs are begging, but they can't have chocolate. But these are what they look like. They're good. Come on! Get across in Saka early. No. Good. Oh. Get that third. And now that looks like a snack. It is. I don't know if you guys can see, but they are good. I love a chocolate chip cookie. Like, and I have pretty much killed off this family pack, but the game is the game. So what do you guys think? Are we like more fluid and attacking because the player changed, or because we're playing in Europe and this team is not sitting back? Because I feel like we've been able to muster some opportunities a little bit more frequently in this game than we have been in Premier League games recently. Even the commentary asked Cocoms what specific traits Saka has. Oh my gosh. I know that cookie, Jess, but I forgot the name. And Chips Ahoy is like chalkboard texture wise. Not these. You're good. They're good. You got to get the chunky ones, not the regular ones. These are good. I won't have you dissing my snacks. Well, at least attacks. Oh. Well, at least attacks aren't dying at the striker's feet. That is a plus. That is a plus. Is that Miles all the way over there? Now get a shot, Saka, right foot. God, they blocking you. Maybe he needs to just take it quicker. I don't know. Can he take it any quicker? Don't know why people like them. I love them. Teams press us in the UCL. More space to exploit for us. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. Mascara, don't be flashing the ball back there when not looking. Now run him down, Saka. Good. Now get it. Good. Now Jesus. Yeah. Yeah. Yo. Saka needs to be so fucking for real right now. It's on his left foot, and he should be taking that shit way sooner. In fact, it just took him, he like dragged his foot. It took him like 1, 2, 3, 4 steps to take the shot. This is what I'm saying. Jesus is cooking low key. He kind of needs to start against United, but I don't know. It'll be Jokeris. It'll be Joker. It'll be Joker. Remember when Barella was that guy? Okay. He doesn't trust his shooting. I mean, at that point where you're standing, you can kick it with your toe. Just hit it hard. Look, there's nothing to trust when you're standing right there. Just hit it. Oh, Eze coming off. For who? For Rice? Okay. Well, what do you guys think? I don't listen. These are very good to me. They're not like the freshest or like homemade, but I love these. So, we're just gonna have to agree to disagree on this one. It will be Timber left back and White right back at the weekend. And Eze doesn't look happy. Listen, all I have to say is I'm just glad that Odegaard didn't come on for him because I just know people would have been upset by that. It was Rice, so it is what it is. That's a good pass, Miles. Fuck, Zubi. He was offside anyway, but I don't know what to tell you guys. I thought he was okay, but I think it was largely the same type of performance that we kind of usually get. Unless he gets that moment, he just kind of drifts and there's not really much to talk about. So, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. They're good. One thing I do love is a snack. Now, Ryan, what the fuck? What was that? Jesus is not getting that. He needs to relax. Let a girl eat. She's not even fat, which annoys me. I would prefer for her to be fat. Okay, not too much on me, Johnny. I hear you, but not too much on me. We'll only be talking about lust and all that. This is just a community of Arsenal fans, okay? Eze, the man who lost his smile. I'm not doing all this. I'm not doing all the lost his smile and it's because of Arteta. You get 60 minutes against Inter in the Champions League and you're not, you know, it we haven't been passing sideways and backwards. We've been attacking in this game. If you can't influence the game, that's on you. Eze is a 26-year-old, experienced player at this stage. So, you know, he had that was his, this was his it wasn't his chance because he's not going to start against United either way, but at least people would have more of a leg to stand on if he had at least done something in this game. That Newcastle game performance was Eze was special. That was his best performance. His best, like, obviously return was Spurs, but his best performance was against Newcastle. They almost scored. Dang. Barella has regressed. He should have left Inter sooner. Nah, but see, if you've ever been to Milan, you can see why players don't leave. Why players don't leave Italy in general. Great quality of life for them. It's beautiful. It's, they don't have to deal with the cold night in Stoke kind of thing of the Premier League, the hustle and bustle of it all. They don't have to go to like Wolverhampton, and places like that. That would shock the system. Like, not everybody is Calafiore. Calafiore is basically like a Londoner. He lives for it. He loves that shit. But these other dudes, they're like, why would I degrade my quality of life? And then also be exposed. Because then people see what my true level is like. Yeah, I think he did have a moment where he could have left, but he chose to stay, and I kind of understand why. I kind of get it. Okay. I did not see that Grealish will be out for months. But, I mean, I don't know. Get well soon, I guess. No, guys. Yeah, they kind of popping it around us a little bit. Sorry, that was out of order. It was meant as a joke. It's fine. It's fine. I know you didn't mean any harm. Bruv, he might need to be taken off. It's looking dark. Who? He's a little bully mascara. Yeah. I mean, this Esposito is causing us some problems. This Esposito is causing us some problems. So, Inter are a good team. I also just think that we have a problem once we get one goal up, we don't get 2 goals up and make the game kind of like more easy. We always have this 1 goal gap. So now we're in between, like, do we try to attack more or do we just kind of like try to manage it? And they're like in between there right now, but they should just keep attacking because Inter are getting through us, even though we're trying to be more like structured. So you might as well just keep attacking. Forget it. Ben, who are you passing it to? I guess Jesus. Yeah. Yeah. So we're about 70 minutes in, and I would say Jesus is the one player I can say that's having a good game. Like a good game. Like there's no denying it. His hold up play, he should have had an assist as well with his 2 goals. So yeah, he's having a good game. Everybody else is have good moments here and there. I think Miles, this is probably the best he's looked in a while, which is good for him. Everybody else has been aight. Yeah, Inter, like we're in 2 completely different mind spaces right now. We're in like rotate, don't get injured, managing. They're in like fighting for their lives. And they're playing well. They're playing well. We're getting a little lucky that they can't hit a barn door, but eventually they will score. So we need to be, we need to toughen up. No. Just pass it, Ryan. Hurry up. Oh no, not like that. Jesus Christ. Guys, Ryan, get all this shit out before Sunday. I'm not trying to watch you kick it to United. The fuck? That was horrible. I think Shamario was saying before that Raya's kicking hasn't been good as of late, and I agree. He needs to get it together. Kick it to us, to Red. What? What's happening? What's going on? Why is he trying to hurt us? What's going on? Why is Bastoni acting like an imbecile? What's going on? You got the foul, didn't you? Yeah, it was a foul by Marino. You got the foul. Marino got a yellow. So why was Bastoni acting like that? Calm down. What's up with Gabrielle's just showing up in the UCL, just super clinical? I don't know. I have no idea. Take Saka and Zubi off. The Gabrielles love UCL. That's why. Marino suspended for the break game. Inter being petty. I mean, like, well, I'm saying like the correct game. I'm saying I'm trying to see Marley. I'm trying to see Norgard, you know, I'm trying to see like how low on the bench can we get? You know, can we call up a couple kids? You know, I'm looking for everybody to sit their butts down. Genuinely. You know what I don't want? I don't want a situation like we had against PSV like a couple years ago where Arteta decided to play our real players in a dead rubber. In a dead rubber. And it ended up being a 1-1 anyway. And it was like literally meant nothing. I don't want that. I don't want that. Just against Kuwait, bring the kids. Yeah, I don't understand why Bastoni was acting like a fool. Ew. That was very ugly. What he just did right then. But Marino's kind of like somebody that will make somebody hit him. You know. Jesus, man of the match performance, definitely my man of the match. There's nothing anybody can do in the next 15 minutes to change my mind. Yeah. Come on, Big Gabby. Get a goal. I guess Jokeris. Maybe we'll be able to score a goal. I don't know. Mascara did well on his first game back. Michael scored. Good for them. Noni should be coming on. Glock coming on. Jesus been lucky, but got 2 chances, 2 clinical strikes. That's what we want from our striker. I think he's seen what Jokeris had going on and said, I think I can do it. You know, Jesus doesn't have a chance against Kai Havertz, but he could take over Jokeris' spot. That's for sure. Pop it. Zuby just pops up anywhere, doesn't he? He just pops up anywhere. All right, guys, let's start thinking about some takeaways for today. Any big takeaways from you guys today? Any thoughts? Any ideas on should this affect United at all? Anybody surprised you? Anybody disappointed you? What do you think? So I can use it in my post-match and pretend like it's my thoughts. No, just joking. What do you guys think? I feel like this game has just been whatever. Like, nobody really claimed anything but Jesus, who should have got the assist a couple minutes ago. Had some good hold-up play. I think everybody else has been all right, you know? I love seeing Mascara back. Needs the minutes. We look very underweight in midfield without Rice, but we kind of know that. Yeah, that's pretty much. Miles has looked the best he's looked in a long time today. So that's pretty much the biggest takeaway that I have is happy to see Mascara back, happy to see Miles look like he's stepping into some better form, and Jesus, you know, making a statement, you know, for the United game, because I do think we need to start moving away from Jokeris. We've given him more than enough time. Let's see. Why can't the 9, preferably Glock, get chances like this in the Premier League? I'm not worried about tonight's results, to be honest. I mean, I think it's a completely different game. Inter hasn't really sat back. There's been tons of space. That's a good throw. Yeah, there's been tons of space. Yeah, I just think in the Champions League, there's just more space for us. So I think that's a big part of it, to be honest. But that was a good pass by Rice. That should have been an assist. That was less egregious than the other one, though, I'll say that. Because once it was on Saka's right foot, I kind of thought this has about a 20% chance of going in. Well, at least it was on target. That was really good from Rice. Mascara played. Mascara played today and came out. Where have you been? MLS just a half a meter more to the back, and it's 3-1. How we didn't score, I have no idea. Disappointing that we let Nwaneri go, especially now that it's going to get busy with all the cups going on. And Saka should have squared it. I'm going to say this because it's just us. Your best attacker cannot be having decision-making issues like Saka's had today. Because Saka used to be like, everybody could be shit, but at least Saka is going to make the right decision and the right choice. But I'm starting to feel like he's starting to look kind of like everyone else, where when they should square it, they shoot it. When they should shoot it, they're crossing it. When they should cross it to the back post, they're hitting it to the near post. Like, he needs to fix up. Like, where he's not playing badly, but if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Good, Gyökeres. Good, Gyökeres. That's him. Martinelli. Back. That's terrible for Martinelli. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything about that. Saka blanking Gyökeres again. We deserved our win and all, and revenge for that 1-0. Well, we haven't won yet, but I hear you. I think we've pretty much they've had chances, but I feel like we still are kind of good for the win, if that makes sense. I don't know. Assuming that we finish off this game with the win. Let's see. Equal shots on target. Equal 50-50 with possession. We have 12 shots. They have 13. They have 360 passes. We have 380 passes. Passing accuracy and all that is pretty much the same. So it's been very, very even. It's been very even. We've just shaved it for now. They're going to be mad. Oh my God. He is just like holding on to him. See, Jesus, when he's holding the ball up, he's just getting in front of them and getting it and like using his finesse. Gyökeres is straight up WWEing with these center backs. I mean, that's ridiculous. What that guy was, it's like, damn, at least buy him some dinner first. Like, that's crazy. Acerbi was just like, I mean, it was just a wrestling match. But it's kind of been like that the other way around too. With like Exposito and Mascara, and then earlier with Thuram and Saliba or whoever. So there's been a lot of battles between center backs and strikers today. But damn, I mean, the way Acerbi was all over Gyökeres, I'm like, damn, calm down. See, I wouldn't be nice. I'd be like, get off me. Like, Gyökeres, I want so bad for you to be something. But that little pass that he just did, I just knew it wasn't going to anyone. Marino! Marino is so bad in crowd scenes. Like, when there's like a couple people around him, he's getting that ball. That ball is coming off of his toe. Like, that's crazy. Let's see. Mascara versus Exposito has been a brilliant battle. Great education for Mascara. Gyökeres did something useful, really good from Gyökeres so far. I agree. Saka has regressed in his decision making. He's playing with ego, which is very unlike him. Saka always makes the right decisions, but for whatever reason, something changed this season. That's the biggest difference between him and his goal output and his GA to me is the decision making has regressed to the likes of everybody else on the team. And that was like his biggest strength against them was that he made the right decision almost every single time. Now it's like, I'm like, couldn't you have shot that? Couldn't you, like, I don't know. I'm not on the pitch, but yeah, he just needs to relax a little bit. Now, just Martinelli, 17 is old. No, I don't even know if he is. I was like, just kick it past him. Gyökeres, are you off? What the fuck was that? Oh my gosh. How fucking hilarious was that goal?
Ingresó al terreno de juego, por lo pronto vendrá este servicio, Gorriarán la comba hacia adentro, remate, de cabeza, gol.
Gyökeres, what's that?
Aparece
What is that, Gyökeres? But great assist, Saka. That is so funny for the narrative. Saka finally passed it to him. Honestly, that couldn't have ended any better than what we just seen right now. That was hilarious. Do you think Judge Mo will answer? Let's see. Watch him not answer. I don't think he'll answer. He's not going to answer. Judge Mo, where are you? Mo, answer. He's not going to answer. He's not going to answer. Let me text him. Answer me. I know he's shaking. That was funny. But yeah, I enjoyed that goal. Was hilarious. But it was a good finish. It was strong enough and high enough where short ass Sommer couldn't get to it. And so I love that. But the way it happened was it was calamity. That was so funny. Good assist, Saka. So Saka gets on the GA. I love that. Saka assist, I actually love that. Saka did not mean that. We don't care. Like, listen, I don't really love the narrative that Saka's trying to stifle Gyökeres. So anything that will stop that narrative will make me happy. Because I don't think Saka is trying to sabotage Gyökeres. I just think maybe he's trying too hard. That's what I think. So I think he's just thinking too hard about everything. Just relax your brain for a second. Damn, Inter did all that huffing and puffing, and we still gonna walk away with this win. That's crazy. All three of our goals were scored by strikers. When does that happen? Like, that's so funny. Let's see. Buddy Judge Mo getting cooked. He wouldn't even answer. I know he's shaking. And I'm probably not the only person calling him either. Let's go again. Okay. Saka, that was actually a decent little pass there. Oh, it's Martinelli. Ooh. That was a good pass. Corner. Let's see. I thought Inter were higher up in the rankings. I can see why they were shook.
From morning coffee to your commute and happy hour to wherever the night takes you, Lyft can help you get where you're going. Choose flexibility. Choose consistency.
You already know, at least we have 1,000 people here. At least hit that damn like. Like the.
You can see he's pissed. Losing to the best team in the world is not a bad thing. Oh, Marino, you almost scored. Yes, Mo said he's not scared of Arsenal, but he did not account for Arsenal's B team. Just like Glock needs to adjust, so does Saka. It's all a part of the process. Why do people not get that? Saka times Gyökeres, terrible. 3 goals, all by strikers. Probably Aubameyang getting settings 5 years ago. This is what I'm saying. I just need the attack to carry the defense a little bit. Go, Gyökeres! Now! Okay. You got too excited. Gyökeres! He's got to get that on target. I'm sorry. You all up underneath it. He was trying to hit it so hard. Gyökeres, you should have scored again. Now, see, that didn't piss me off. Now I'm mad at you again. Just joking. 3 minutes. That's the Gyökeres I know. It's crazy. Wow, dear Gyökeres. Oh, Gyökeres, you could have been another. Can't believe it. Gyökeres, not even on target. Come on, bro. You got to do better. You must. Man of the match, Jesus. Right? He had a good game. One of the only people that I feel like 100% I felt like you had a really good game. Everybody else was just kind of all right. Good job, Bryce. A yellow? I haven't gotten there yet. Oh, yeah. Why did he do that? It's weird. Oh, so he could. Chess, not checkers. Good. You want to get that yellow for that great game. Run him over, Never mind. Yo. Why didn't he just get it? Like, I don't know. I guess I'm sitting in this chair. I'm like, why didn't he just get it? But I just felt like he could have got that. Now kick it past him, Martinelli. No, why didn't you kick it past him then? Why are you waiting? Pass it to somebody else now. Martinelli. Just kick it past him and run. Is that not your whole shtick? Yeah. After this game, I'm fully going to be like nervous about Sunday. I wish we could play that game tomorrow. I need it over with. I am not going to be well. Okay, this is game over. Yay. I like that. I like it a lot. We won the game. Good job. So, yeah, man of the match. Definitely Jesus to me. Had a great game. Happy for Jokeris. Mascara, love you. And MLS, that's the best you've looked in a long time. Inter, you will be fighting for your life. It is what it is. Let's see. We could be first team to go 8-8. It'll be fine, Jess. You heard it here first. Congrats. I'm happy for you. True Luke, you guys talking to each other. 100% record continues. Inter in big games this season stinks. Guys, don't forget that we are doing, it's down there at the bottom, but once you leave here, go to the actual YouTube channel and go set notifications for both of those watch-alongs. We're doing a watch-along tomorrow for Arsenal women versus Man United, and then Man City women versus Chelsea. We may also just mix in Liverpool and Marseille and watch them as well. And then on Sunday, we're doing Arsenal versus Man United, and we're also doing Napoli versus Juventus. So if you want to make sure that you don't miss those watch-alongs, set your notifications now so you don't forget. They're both already set up on the thing. After this, I'm going to go record the reaction. So look out for that in about an hour or so. And I really enjoyed this. Thank you guys so much for, chilling with me. It was so much fun. I missed this time with you guys. So let's keep the ball rolling. Ooh, PSG? Surely not. Surely not. Sporting, Anyways, but yeah, you guys, make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel on your way out, and we will talk tomorrow. All right. Bye, guys.